You know you've seen it?
Sorry, John.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mr. Demirel, the Secretary of State Kissinger, in a recent letter to the Greek Foreign Minister, appeared to support the Greek position on maintaining the status quo in the Aegean whilst changing the boundaries in Cyprus. What is Turkey's reaction to this?
I don't think that letter could be interpreted that way, and I don't think the interpretation you are trying to give to it does reflect the contents of the letter.
I think this is the way that the Greeks have interpreted it.
That's the way I do interpret too. As a matter of fact, no Secretary of State could give guarantee to any other government, and it won't be really very serious thing. And that's why that letter couldn't be interpreted that way.
I see. Well, do you think that perhaps the Turkish Parliament or some of your opponents in the opposition might interpret it this way, and it might prompt them to block the passage of the new Turkish-American Defense Pact through Parliament?
Turkish-American agreement is a very serious one, and a very important one too. It's important for United States, it's important for Turkey. If we didn't have any agreement, then if it wasn't rejected, in that case, we were not going to have such harm. But there is an agreement. If it is rejected in both parliaments, I mean in Congress, in here, definitely it's going to open up a new hall, a great hall. Then I don't know how and what we will act. And then I like to say is, I cannot overrule the Turkish Parliament. Definitely, there should be some people, some deputies, some senators thinking this way or that way. This is a free country, and then our parliament is a very lively one. And then they don't like this part of it, that part of it. But I think as government, we have enough power to pass that through. And then I don't know how the opposition acts, but without opposition, we have enough power to pass it through.
Another question, sir. Have you received any specific proposal yet from Greece on the non-aggression pact that they have suggested that the two countries sign?
No.
You have not?
No. Up to now, as far as at this hour, I am not aware of such a thing.
Isn't it, sir, a little peculiar for two allies to be considering signing a non-aggression pact?
It depends upon how you interpret that.
And a final question. We've just watched a very impressive display of Turkey's military strength in the Aegean. And are you confident, sir, that if war did break out between Turkey and Greece, that Turkey would win?
I think I call this question is irrelevant. And that's all I can say.
So in fact, you're hoping that it will not come to that?
We are for peace. If we are not, our rights are not damaged. We didn't have war with anyone. We didn't create problems. If you look at the problems of today, none of them is created by Turkey. We didn't create Cyprus. We didn't create the fortification of the islands. Islands shouldn't be fortified. According to the Lausanne Treaty, according to the Paris Treaty. But they violated those treaties. And then we didn't call the sea line as a border. They did. And then we didn't say that Aegean Sea is the lake of ours, but they did. None of the problem we have created. They created the problems. And then definitely we shouldn't be pushed self-defense. And as I said, we are willing peace, but we protect our rights.
Would you be willing to go as far as protect your rights militarily?
I don't think this question is a right one too. I mean, at least it's not a question of today.
Not a question.
I hope it's not necessary. I hope it becomes not necessary. It becomes not necessary.
And you have said, in fact, that you're willing to meet Mr. Karamanlis, I think, eventually, to probably to try and find a solution to your various
I can
problems.
tell you one thing. I think if you fresh your memories, all the people who follows the Turkish-Greek relations, in last May we have met Mr. Karamanlis.
Yes.
And then we declared that all these problems should be settled peacefully. Then, before we met, my friend Mr. Çağlayan, our Minister of Foreign Affairs, he met the Greek Minister of Foreign Affairs in Rome. And then they decided all these things should be settled peacefully. And then, for the Fear Line, there was 5 meetings within a year. And then, for the continental shelf, there was a meeting in Bern. And then, as far as Cyprus is concerned, Mr. Çağlayan and Mr. Bitsios, they talked each other in Brussels a couple of months ago. And then they renewed the negotiations which was being done in Vienna. 5 times we have meetings in Vienna. And I think you cannot call this thing none. That's there.
Do you think, though, that another meeting, perhaps at this stage, besides between yourself and Mr. Karamanlis, might help speed things up a little, or?
I cannot tell you anything right now. It's a very complicated matter, you know. Yeah. All I can tell you, we have goodwill.
Yeah, goodwill. Thank you very much, Mr. Demirel.